Hello everyone, my name is Hideki. Um, I've been doing a Vket broadcast livecast from a Vket 5, and this is my what's this first livecast series of livecast from Vket. And I'm actually known to be doing the all world all boost livecast, mostly in Japanese, and I'd like to take this opportunity to do one in English as well. So this won't be the actual all word or boost type of livecast, but I'd like to give you some sample of what you can expect in from a Wicked. Um, Now, this event is taking place until the 18th, I believe it's eight. It's let me actually just double check here. 18th of in Japanese time. So this is the 18 and 11 p.m. in Japanese time, which is I believe it's a 5 a.m. in the Pacific time in US. So get there. It's there a few more days. So if you haven't already, you can check out the event. So you need the either VR equipment, or if you don't have a VR equipment, you can also use your PC on your screen. As just like PC, the on your screen using your keyboard and mouse. Also, if you have a Quest, there are several selected Quest compatible world as well. So there are a couple of ways you can visit Wicked. And the one thing is that if you're going to be visiting, especially if you're going to be visiting using your PC VR systems, you might want to start visiting the corporate world, which are going to be actually going through all three of them. But you might want to start with that. The reason being is that once the event concludes, all the world will be closed. But most of the actually all I expect all the actual non-corporate world to be coming back as a public world later on. So you can kind of check it out after the event concludes as well. But the corporate ones, they don't come back. So that's a kind of reason you might want to check it out for while you can. So they're kind of gone for good after they're closed. So and then now even for those the non-corporate ones, there are things like the avatar portals, avatar pedestals, that they may not work for some of them because the exhibitor might actually choose to disable them. But still, you should be able to get most experience out of it, even after your event after event is over. So that's a kind of advice from me. So now, without further ado, let's get to the event. Now, I'm in this world. This is the world called the Next Journey. Now, another thing to keep in mind is that since today, already today, we get 2022 Winter event is no longer featured in this world listing on the week. Let's see the VR chat. Let me actually show you something here. Let's see. So you won't be able to see this. There used to be some, like the special like section here that you could just navigate to. Now if you use this the Wicket 22 W for Winter, you can still find those words in here. So you kind of have to do a little bit of a work finding those words. You can just search through this search section. So that's something to keep in mind if you're gonna be checking this out. Now, it's a little bit harder to find. So just kind of a little bit of warning before you freak out that you can find the word. So so this is a kind of entrance word. So this is a kind of gateway to the actual the event. So you get this cat here, and it's gonna take us to the actual event. Actually, let me change the camera settings so it's a little bit less shaky. Now, unfortunately, this smoothing behavior on the way out chapter is a little bit off these days. It's actually kind of goes through my body, so it's hard to control. So it's just gonna be sticking on the top left here. So now this is this is a kind of portal ward that takes you to different part of the Vket. You kind of can see that this full like different ward here. So and this is the language section. I believe this actually default to your language, but if not, you can switch here. So, and that means you can actually have all those messages in English. So this Vket, this is the third Vket like character that was they did a competition on which one to kind of do the actual contest on which character. So they're actually I believe this was award. They're here you go. So they're like a lot of like submission on what this new character will be. So if you have submitted one, you definitely can see them. So I think this is one that was selected ultimately. So that was a character that was there. So this is done by Narita Imomushi. But there are quite a few of them. Like there are lots of submissions. I believe this is all the submissions actually. So you see that all the submissions here that it's interesting that there are lots of different motifs and such. These are the credit for the event. Now these are the actual the 3 models that you use in the world. Actually, those are all free, so you can actually if you go this side, you can actually get all those models for free, and you can have like those models in your world or in your avatar, or like I think you can do just about anything, unless you're there, Pratigo or anything like that. So you should be able to do. I don't think you should distribute them for free by yourself, but you can actually do. You can be creative. I guess that's to a certain extent. So there is that. So and so there are some surveys here. This is a great opportunity to get your voice here. I guess I think they're being read. I don't know how well they're here, but I'm pretty sure they'll be reading your constructive comments. So that's highly recommended. The one thing about these events is especially for I think I hear this is half of the visitors is actually foreigner now, but I'm not sure what's actually proportion was. But it's definitely, I think it's probably they aren't hearing as much as Japanese population for those surveys. So maybe it might be a good opportunity to get your voice here if you have some comment to say. So these portals are for or quest compatible words. So if you have so if you have actually just a quest on device client, there is actually separate entrance word as well. So that is a word kind of on just like this one, except that they won't be word for PC. So just kind of the way to keep in mind if you want to check out from a kind of this entrance. It's a highly recommended you actually to enter through this, especially if you're the first time coming into this event, doing this event. That it's kind of give you this feeling. Sorry, it's showing my inside of myself here. It is actually the good way to enter, just to give you some sense of journey here. So yeah. So I'll be moving onto the world here, but I won't be using those portals just because I want to make sure that I'm on my invite only instance. So I'm gonna get moving to the next. So first word I'm visiting is this part of Paris, which is based on the Paris in France. And it's gonna take a little bit, it's actually already loaded, but it takes sometimes a little longer to parse. So it's just saying connecting. So just give me a second here. Should be in soon. Yep. Here is Paris. So I'm just gonna set this one to English because this is an English broadcast. Yeah. So what I actually do beside this broadcast, live cast, is that I basically go through every single word in Vket. So I've done 8 series of about 2 hours each. So that's kind of something I do every Vket. So actually, the Vket5 was the hard. I actually I think I did over 40 hours of a live cast for that. So yeah, it's a little bit more manageable, but it's definitely a lot of a lot of journey here. So let me actually so this is mostly the corporate word, which basically means it's what we see here is mostly the company, you can kind of see the different companies. So the problem of this word is there are lots of copyright music going around. So I just kind of copyright, I mean, is the content ID based music. So aside from some of showing this word music, I gonna be muting the sound show tree, so I want to get dinged by the dinged by the content ID. Let's see. Sorry, I had to kind of move my screen here a little bit. Sorry about that. Hold on, just give me a second here. I got that little virtual screen on the top here. So, is this your first English broadcast? I've only seen you speaking. Actually, I've done some English broadcasts before. Actually, I dedicate at least one of the episode every time I do the live cast from Vket as an extra English broadcast. So I do have a maybe couple of so since I did 4 or 5 Vket before, so I do have 5 of them. So, and I think I did the one from several different events. So you see a handful of English broadcasts from my on my channel. So yeah, feel free to check them out if you want. It's there from a past Vket and such. So so yeah, I just gonna actually change to so you're not hearing actual the music from event now. It's a little tough business those days. The YouTube, even if I play a couple of phrases of the music, it's tend to flag it. So yeah. So the interesting part about the this word this time around on the Vket is there are lots of this I'll just show you. It's pretty easy to show you. This I think I can just do the music here. That's fine. This is I don't think it's actually working out. Sorry about that. Hold on. Actually, what you're seeing is the viewpoint from the actual my viewpoint on the camera. Let me actually change that. Actually, hold on. How do I do this? Camera mode. So I just gonna change the camera mode to photo. So this is kind of you can kind of see I think you can kind of now see the point of view from myself, not the character on the stage now. So these you can kind of see those dances and this thing. So they're many of those features for on this event these days. So I mean, for this time around, there weren't many of them in the past ones. So it's kind of interesting that they kind of focused on these days. So yeah, I mean they have increasingly adding those things. I think they had a couple of those things last time, but I think we're seeing just little more of them. And you can kind of see that this is also the same thing. I'm not gonna actually go. So this is the one. Let's see how. The one thing is like sometimes it actually backs me out, so it's just like I had to despawn and such. So I'm not gonna go in too much on. So this is kind of interesting one. So this is a original Hatsune Miku package. And what you can do here is a actually let me change to. It's a kind of you can actually take a picture of yourself here, like and actually you can be in the I see. I think I was still in the camera here. Let me stream camera. There you go. This is what you can actually be on the. You can be on the package if you want. You have this where. So there's also one for Megboy as well. So you can kind of be on the package yourself. So if you're the fan of Vocaloid, this is something definitely interesting. There's lots of like instruments here, and like these are. You can have like a different the instruments here too. So I think someone actually did the concert here because it's actually there's like it's kind of set the scene, so you can like use it to do some musical performance. You can kind of go through this one, and this is a lawyer's office here. There are lots of companies advertising here, and this is Mitsubishi UFJ Morgan Stanley. That's the bank. You can kind of see that. Not the bank, sorry, security. I think. Oh, here you go. The Mitsubishi UFJ Morgan Stanley Securities. It's a. You can kind of go to like this like lace. It's not quite a lace. I think you can kind of get on this. It's you can kind of. Not much you can actually control, but the that's yeah, that's cute. and I think the problem is I actually haven't gotten around how to actually exit from this one without. Why actually? Huh. Yeah, it's maybe here. Like last time when I tried this one, I actually didn't find out how I can even exit from this. So I actually had to go back all the way to the top and exit. Maybe you can go from here. I'm not sure. No, we can't. Where's the exit? Maybe I have to repeat what I did last time. So I had to go all the way back to the top of this hill, walking. Oh, is that it? Maybe this is a blue one. Maybe this is one. I might be wrong, but no, it's not. Okay, I guess I had to go back all the way to the back. I mean, the one thing is that there is actually map you can actually use. So, let's see. I guess I can do that way too. Kind of use a map to get back here. So, okay, I guess I can do that. Yeah. So yeah, I just kind of came back to the where I started. So I never played the VR chat, so I never knew the company about it. This is somewhat of a outlier because the mostly actually VR chat commercial activity is actually prohibited unless you have actually contract with VR chat. So this is the definitely not like norm. So you probably won't see a lot of like commercial activities on VR chat other than these events. So what you see here is typically not really like it's not a typical. It's definitely a special case. So yeah, I mean you can kind of see lots of companies like so they do have a VR chat operator, actually a company called Hiki. They actually do have special contract with VR chat to be able to do this. So but yeah, there are definitely a lot of like major companies doing that. Like this Shinchan is actually like this actual I think they're part of this part of this booth, which is TV Asahi. There's actual like a broadcaster in Japan for Shinchan. So and they got the Kenwood here, JVC Kenwood, and the they actually have this is the Tokyo Marui, which is like this. They sell this model guns. This is not real gun. So in Japan, you actually it is actually legal to actually have like those the airsoft without those like the orange tip. I mean, they do have like a really strict firearm role, so it's not like you can actually own them like real ones. So I guess because there's not much of a people misunderstanding it for real guns. So so that's kind of different country, I guess. Like so different country, different way of doing this. So yep. So this is based on Paris. So we kind of went through like this part, the full part of it. Didn't cover so many of the things, but boosts. But the this is kind of word. So I'm gonna be heading to the next corporate world, which is this is the second one. Is based on the Japan city in Japan called Nagoya, which is kind of like middle. It's a west of Tokyo and the east of Osaka, so it's kind of like in the middle. So Nagoya is an interesting city. It's kind of being in the middle, so it's actually has they kind of have a really different take to a lot of culture. I mean, if I say that, I mean the people in Nagoya might actually find it, they might be mad at me, but they tend to have a really interesting the take on a lot of different things. Like they may use different term for a lot of things. They have actually they have really good really cool like they get really cool food and all those things. But they're definitely different. It feels different than a lot of either it's they are not like Tokyo and nor Osaka. So it's kind of like in interesting like middle ground almost. But yeah, it's I never been to Nagoya, but I really like to check it out someday. Once I hear it's really interesting. So I'm just gonna momentarily put this back to world music because although we get world music, I really like them. It's done by really talented composers. So I like kind of listening to them. So this is a way in Nagoya here. So let me actually change this one to English. So I'm gonna have this. So yeah, this is the kind of it's the Nagoya Castle. So you can kind of see the this gate here, and basically beyond this gate is a oops, sorry, it's enemy again. So you can see this Nagoya So this is like big, like this is a. If you see the top of the castle there, let me zoom in. So you see the little the yellow thing. That's basically is a like little decoration called shachihoko, which is actually really big. You can kind of see like from here. I mean, this is not definitely real size, but the it's kind of looks small from distance, but it's actually very big. Not probably not this big, but maybe half of this size. But they are kind of shiny, so yeah, it's you kind of see the in cross. This is kind of like the toy based on like Kachiyoko, but the it's that's what it is. So this is yeah, it's a little too big, but that's what's a little decoration on the castle normally. So yeah, and you can see this is actually I think you can kind of get close to this one going up this ladder here. I mean, yeah, I guess it's not gonna be this big. You can kind of get on too, but nice photo spot and such. So and it's got this is a castle there, and it's got the little tower. Because like in every city, big city in Japan should have a tower, right? So it is actually kind of true. They actually do. Most of the big city in Japan actually do have at least one of those, like those big, like the observation tower. I don't know why, but they do. I mean, yeah, they're, I guess, pretty good tourist spot. So this is Vket-chan here, and she got this shrimp thing. Like, so the reason she's giving this out is because Nagoya is pretty good, pretty known for these the shrimp, fried shrimp, and that is why they're mostly I think they're kind of soaked with a miso paste, and they're kind of big on that. So this is kind of like how this world is structured here. So let me actually, yeah, just gonna switch to that music. Okay, just gonna go around this place. So yeah, this is actually, this is the it's it's pronounced in Japan akom, which is it's when you usually can read this on probably acom. It's the consumer financing. So it's essentially like these are it's a lender basically, like they actually lend money. Yeah. And yeah, there are a couple of big like lenders in Japan that they're the one of them. I believe they're like probably I would say the biggest or maybe second biggest in Japan. And they, for this some reason, they got this katsu thing. It actually Nagoya is well known for that too. So that's kind of like they get the kind of their own like delicacies there, and it's really good. The katsu, their katsu is I think also miso based. I think. So it's you go there. So it's so this is the beams, which is kind of upper the crossing, and yeah, it's like most of those actually has like some English explanation to it. So essentially, what's getting so big these days is there actually lots of like cross marketing between like virtual and like India Life like items. So it is more prominent now. So they got this little what's the yoga thing. So if you actually do have a like through tracking capability, you can actually try doing your yoga here. And you got that little Disney thing and going here. The one thing that they actually do have a lot of promotions going on here. Like, you can actually do like sweepstakes and those. Unfortunately, most of those sweepstakes were only in Japan, so you can participate a lot of them, unfortunately. So yeah, if you see, I mean, most of those explanation probably in Japanese, so they don't even have option to get the little kitchen things too. So yeah, so this is kind of what is like a little food tracking, like the like, so you can kind of like attach this one to your body and you can track to your full body. And this Sony's releasing this one soon. I don't know whether they're gonna be coming to US, but hopefully at some point. I don't know. It's the only thing is like, I think they right now they only support the Xperia phones, which is not. I don't think they actually have any Xperia phones these days in US, so I don't know what's gonna be the timelines. That's the only ones that they're supporting right now. So, or at least they're saying they're gonna support. So, or some iPhones. So that's actually gonna limit a lot of like the capability to in like if you have some Android phone that is not like, so they actually have this kind of like a little little game here too. So you get this like a little kind of money gun. So this is like supposed to be sort of like the advertisement for the credit card that has like the special point thing. So you can basically get this point by spending it. I mean, there are lots of things in the outside of Japan like this, but they are marketing this one. It's kind of interesting. They actually have an explanation in English for these, and not that you can actually get this one elsewhere, but this particular card, I mean. So this is a kind of little like ride you can actually kind of play around with. So I like the way that they kind of explains like in actual terms. So you can kind of like shoot this kind of money gun, credit card gun. I really suck at this, but let's see. Yeah, I think so I personally found that, but 5% refund is actually not too bad for these things. I mean, a lot of like US cards are like what is like 2%, 3% cashback. I mean, depending what it is, but the usually, so 5% is actually not too bad. Okay, now this guy, I think this is the end of this ride. I can get off the ride while it's on it, so I'm just gonna. So yeah, this is like this is kind of like experiential marketing in real. It's kind of interesting. They have this. Yeah. So yeah, just gonna. So yeah, if you walk to this section here, you get to this Nagoya station here. Yeah, they get some like drink giveaway. This is mostly Japan only, so they got another Vket-chan like giving out some newspaper here. So it's in Japan. It's this fall metaverse. The craze is actually kind of going on right now. So lots of many of the major TV actually shows actually do show some of the ins and outs of the VR chat, so there's some media coverage in Japan. So I mean, some favorable, some not so, but it's kind of depending on the show. So I just got a little rub show. So this is kind of the conversion of a the old Nagoya station. I never been to Nagoya station, so I can't really speak of if this is accurate representation of it, but I think it's pretty close. And it's actually got the little Shinkansen track here, so you can kind of be in this. Actually, I can probably play sound from this section. That's fine. So actually, you get to see that some train passing through here. Oh yeah. I think that's actually the linear. What is this? Oh, this is open just a web page. There you go. So yeah, they're still working on those the linear motor trains, which is supposed to be really fast, but can't get on from here. Let me see where. Oh, there. Yeah, and you can get on the train too. So. Let me see, where's my camera? Here you go. And yeah, just gonna take you to the different area of this map. Subways look so much worse than just yeah, I mean, it's you're still lucky to have one. I mean, in States, I mean, I know it's kind of worse, but yeah, at the same time, there are lots of cities just don't have good coverage on those transports. So I think it's still good. It's still cool you have it. But I know what you mean. Yeah, it's. Okay, let me see. So I guess you can kind of get on this train as well. I don't know where this is gonna be taking me to. The only thing, one thing in Japanese trains is they're crazy accurate in time. They essentially, when they say they arrive in 2 minutes, they actually do arrive in 2 minutes. So they're actually down to a few seconds. The most time, and I think minute late is pretty much the. Essentially, they'll be actually apologizing for being 1 minute late. So the promptness is. I think it's just punctuation is just really, really over the top. It's actually arriving to the station here. I think it's still kind of space station here. Yeah, I don't think you can even get down there. So I think you can get on top here. So if you go here, it's gonna take you to this top section. It's just kind of another area here. It's in Saturn, so it's a pretty long way that train had to go through. So okay, so I'm visiting the next part in Sapporo. So Sapporo is a city in Hokkaido, which is a kind of northern side of it. So it's an island, a big land in north. The current is working in the high speed today, so but yeah. It's a complete construction. It's actually living around Seattle, and it's kind of same deal. It's not the fast one, but they're actually working on this light rail network, and I think they're gonna be their expansion gonna be opening these soon on the place I live across. But the my this particular area I live, things want to be coming until 2040, so 2030 yet. It is still kind of wrong time to go, but it's kind of interesting that those projects takes really long time in States. So I guess when they don't have any foundation going on, I guess it's gonna take really long time. And yeah, and these days because of the fall, fall situation in the world, I think things get delayed so bad. So I don't know how long it's gonna take until. Yeah, Seattle the Seattle center area is pretty decent, but the anywhere outside of it, it's gonna take another 10 years for anything to be useful, I guess. So this is okay. So now we are in this Sapporo. To get this. This is the Nigo-chan, the second. So you saw the third Vket-chan earlier, the cat one. So, and this is the second one, the number 2, and that's the first one, the one I think you saw it earlier in Nagoya as well. So that's the first Vket-chan, second Vket-chan, and the third Vket-chan was that cat. So that's how things are. And you get this. There are some like 3D model giveaway insights like you can kind of participate. I think this one, actually this one, there's a you can get this like a little. This is an eye drop, those eye drops thing. I think their survey for this one actually had the English text in there. So if you want to answer that, you can get the model, but yeah. So there are some you can participate, but many it's just not. It's many of them they're not really available for anyone outside of Japan, unfortunately. I mean, like this company is US based, I believe. Yeah, so. But they're on a lot of the company advertising here is mostly Japan. So I kind of hope that they will have more stuff in that the US or elsewhere other than Japan can also participate. Actually, yeah, that would be kind of cool if they can do that. But yeah, not right now, but hopefully soon. I mean, things are getting big. I guess I really hope. I mean, that's probably the one thing maybe good things to write in the survey. So. You're really missing those the. I mean, there was 20 some promotion that's available for Japanese residents, sweepstakes, giveaways, things like that. So, and elsewhere it's just there's one or two. So, yeah, I just gonna switch the music for now. So what's happening is so these the screens sometimes they actually start playing some anime music and such. So I really don't want to have them on the stream. Otherwise, I'm gonna get the big ding on my content ID all the time. So I've done that before. So yeah, it's not too big a deal, but kind of it's kind of pain to deal with. So these are the actual snow statues that people submitted. And those are actually official. Some company did submitted. Does it actually say? who did it. Yeah, this is Helsinki whole, like Helsinki, like the it's like from Hokkaido Hoso, which is Hokkaido broadcast station. I don't know why they actually submitted, but so they got this for like this is a pretty good representation of Hokkaido, I guess. Like I never like I guess just like Nagoya, I never been to. Actually, it's kind of interesting. This year, this weekend, I never been to any of the city it's represented. Like last weekend it was like Osaka and Osaka, New York. I've been to both of them, so it's kind of interesting. Like this time around, I never been to any of the cities it's based on. So kind of interesting. I like to visit all those places. I at some point. This is the kind of pachinko parlor, or you can kind of like if you touch this thing, it's gonna take a picture of you here, and it's gonna actually gonna launch the little fireworks that based on you. Let's see what's. So yeah, this is a kind of Shibanboshi. Different promotions going on, and they actually have these the kind of statues based on the past weekend as well. These are submitted ones. The toilet, someone submitted the toilet. So this is a kind of a company like it's Saibozu, and that's a Sapporo Tower actually showing the current time. That's kind of nice touch. And the thing is, they actually have this thing that you can actually have. I mean, this is not a real thing, but it's gonna open a website where you can actually have your the virtual stamp card stamped on the booklet, so you can actually keep track of which ward you're visiting and getting in here. And so yeah, this is kind of end of Sapporo area. So once I can do, I'll be going around a few different ward here. Now the ones you just saw are the corporate ward. So where I'm actually heading right now is those are booths that people have exhibiting. They are mostly individuals, or maybe group of individuals, depending on what they are. So just gonna sample a couple of them. They're like they're essentially like 6 of them. So and actually 6 plus several set of a Quest compatible words. Quest compatible words that I'll take you some of those words, but they are typically smaller because of the capability on the Quest. They can really have like a huge word. They got limited amount of memory. So this is the area called Tetherford, which is kind of based on this like sci-fi, the cybernetics and things like that. It's kind of interesting. It's got a little monitor here that's yeah. So one interesting thing about this map is you can actually modify yourself. I mean, not in the way you can see it, but it's actually you can have your arms modified to give you power and such. And let's say yes, just to show you. So now my arms is modified. What I can do here is, if I go to this little rock, I can destroy it. Yeah. So now, these are actually, let me put the music back on here. Okay, so these are the boosters that mostly individual have created. There are lots of people who are really creative, so I actually really enjoy looking at them. It's I say some like a little message going on. So you kind of see the like what's there, what people have putting it. So mostly what you find here are like the avatars, and sometimes like items that you can put in your VR worlds, and there are some who also show the like real world goods, like the little items, pictures, and things like that. But it's a mostly. It's not really like limited to. They don't really put like limitation what you can advertise, as long as they don't violate TOS on the VR chat or like the event itself. So you see the wide range of stuff here. So you can kind of see this like the some of them like humanoid, like the typical human type of thing. Sometimes they're robots. So these are really good opportunity to find out what's the hot in in real world, like because like every time I visit like these events, I kind of see the pattern there. So it kind of like show that I got my arm modified here. So it's kind of interesting. I don't know if there's anything in this stair actually. And this is just yeah, this elevator. Oh, it's just on top of it. So they got for all the these worlds, they actually have two different versions. Some of them are similar, like this teleport. There's slight difference, but they are mostly similar. You can get your stomach modified so you can drink up. Yeah, so this is kind of like teleport. So it's a interesting world. Like there's some aspect with kind of story progression, so you can kind of do a little bit of role playing type of thing here. It's definitely interesting. Yep. Let me actually move on to. I'm gonna be kind of taking a look at this really quick, because it's otherwise we're gonna be staying here for 9 hours, which probably not. I mean, not 9 hours, but the actually it's let's say 18 hours like total I've done for Japanese broadcast. But the yeah, it's gonna take a while if you're gonna do like the look at this one E Cross. So actually just gonna take this one to. So I typically spend about hour per word for on these broadcasts. So it's a very big number of abuses for each word. So it takes a pretty good chunk of time if you are covering like each of the word. I mean, if you're just skimming through, like like I just did, like it's a very quick, but like what I do for other broadcasts is I actually go through each booth for like showing what they offer. If they have avatar, I tend to try them on for most of them. So it takes pretty long time. There are probably 3 or 4 others who actually do the similar broadcast. It's it's such an experience to go through. Like, wearing it's if you imagine like wearing the headset 2 hours a day to get those events covered, it's kind of like what's going on. So I've done that for like for Vket. I mean, I kind of enjoy doing that, but it's definitely not for everyone, and I would definitely not recommend like if you're not particularly like, used to wearing your headsets for such a long time to do this, and you have to talk all the time. So my voice tend to be horrible after going through the Vket. So now this is a kind of like interesting area. So you basically have this elevator you can use to move around this different place. So the one special thing about this particular world is it's actually arrows world a lot bigger than the boost a lot bigger than the other one. So let me show you. So if you go up here, this is not the good example because they're kind of. So yeah, if you see things like this one, kind of see this is bigger. This is essentially like twice as big. Like yeah, it's twice as big. It's 10 meter per side. So it's actually got big like it's twice as big as most of the other worlds. I mean, beside the corporate ones, of course, like they're huge. So I mean, they're probably paying a lot. So I guess that kind of makes sense. They actually. So let me see. I was almost falling. So in case you're wondering how you can actually exhibit in this world, there's a lottery going on at Vket. So what you can do is to register yourself in those event, and you can sign up, even if you're not in Japan. So and I've done many times. So it is possible to for people outside of Japan to exhibit. That's pretty easy. The only thing is you probably you need to have the either PayPal account or credit card because it's actually going to cost you a little bit. It's cost 3,000 yen. I think it's 3,300 yen, which is about in current rate about like $25, 20 something like that. Yeah, that's how much it costs to exhibit for these PC world. Like for the Quest compatible worlds, they are free. The only downside is not downside, but the only catch is that they're lottery. So even if you register, you're not guaranteed to win. And of course, they're not going to charge you if you don't win. But so you're not guaranteed to have a booth space, but you can definitely register yourself if you're really interested having your booth and exhibit some stuff in here. It actually does take certain expertise to do that. You have to be able to use render Unity and other things. So to be able to submit, Unity is a must because you actually have to use a tool that's plugin for Unity to be able to submit. So or the asset, that's what they call. And I've exhibited. Let me see. I think I've done 3 times and 2 of them being actual booths and the other being like Quest compatible worlds. So this time around I wasn't chosen for the PC world. I did register, but I wasn't selected. So, but I did get the one for Quest. So yeah, I think I'll take you there as well. But the back in the Vket 5 didn't do the lottery. They actually basically essentially got everyone in. And what happened was then they actually got it's just got out of control. They're I don't know how many words even they I think they got like 8 different words or something like that. It was a lot. And it took me 40 hours to go over everything, so that was a lot of content. So since then, like they kind of started instituting this lottery system where essentially you have to win to be able to exhibit. Oops, I fall. Yeah. So yeah, it's kind of like I'm kind of going over with that actually. This is like in this world is not as it's not the world where you get a lot of different things. It's mostly like same thing, except it's got the different layers of it. But yeah, this is kind of let's move on to the next one. So the next one is kind of like little resort area, the kind of ocean side, like it's kind of nice. I'll actually show you both variants of this world because they're kind of cool. So it's called Luluana Resort. Oh, the one that I just went through is called it's a let me just double check the name on that. Like sometimes I kind of, it's called the Cosmo Travel Elevator. Was one that I went to. So this area is called Luluana Resort Paradise. Kind of like what is like. It's got a nice tune to it. It feels like you're in this island in tropic. Excellent one, like when things are cold outside. And they got these are all. And I kind of like they got this like yeah. See, like there's sometimes they actually have this kind of really interesting things. Like this is like fish, dried fish, photogrammetry. Yeah, and like this is the some of those like it's a really elaborate. I like the kind of way they model this for environment. It's definitely interesting. So you can kind of see this. This is actually kind of typical Vket booth size, which is 4 meter for 4 meter for the size, and then the height is I think 5 meters, which is decently big, but it's not as big as the other one, which was twice as high. Well, more than twice as high because twice as high and more than twice as big for the floor space. And as long as you're fitting to that environment, you can kind of do whatever you want. So you can kind of see sometimes people do this multi floor thing, like this one. Like you kind of see like if someone did like the 2-story building, and that's okay too, as long as you're within that floor like limit. You just can't get like have anything outside of that boundary, and you can't also have like too many polygons and such and sizes, like because you don't want the people to bomb like 500 megabytes boost in the world that is like 300 megabytes, so kind of makes sense. But yeah, if you're like 3D modeler or like the inclined to do some like the artwork or like environmental planning, I think this is a really good opportunity to even if you're kind of getting started with it. It's a really kind of interesting way to get your feet wet, like in this 3D creation. The one thing I particularly like about they actually participating in this event is since actually it's gonna give you like deadline, you kind of like work toward it. Otherwise, like you kind of like it's gonna, yeah, I'm working on it, but eventually like we're gonna finish that type of thing. So it's kind of sense of this um, deadline is kind of, it's, I like kind of having that framework of it. So I kind of enjoy participating in these events. Yeah, so you can kind of see like different work here too. And people are doing a lot of creative things here. So yeah, usually there are a lot of like these like the avatars, but the like this person, for example, like has a this is showing off this special Vket shader where it's, you kind of see this Vket. You can actually have like these, there's a little grass here. You can actually have this one, like you can have this, and it's actually even like, oh, let me actually see, that's one. So you can actually even spill this. So you can actually spill this thing, for example. So it's really interesting. Like it's a someone have done something really creative there. So yeah, it's a definitely a lot of work to actually do these things. Some people put a lot more time than others, but it's a really interesting. And someone did like this kind of like the little right shader. It's a not shader, but the kind of pre items and such. So those avatars are ranging from maybe 3,000 yen, maybe sometimes like you can find as low as 1,000 yen to upward of maybe 10,000 yen, which is about like let's say $7 to $70 these days. It's kind of depending on like the rate, but those are the kind of typical prices for those avatars. But sometimes you can actually find one for free. So yeah, if you're not really like into like VR things, they tend it sounds expensive, but it's actually expensive to create high quality models, and it's you can find the those models for really good price in this VR. And most of those avatars you can actually modify if you really want to. Like you can have change colors, you can have different textures if you really like to. So there's some creativity you can exercise even when you buy it. And they're very it's expected that a lot of those actually have decently lenient lenient in approval for changing things around. So the only thing is like they would probably prohibit is like a lot of like those you can't give it away to people. So you just it has to be confined to your own use. But other than as long as that's okay. I mean, as long as you're doing that, a lot of like a lot of workers tend to allow pretty good latitude on like doing a lot of like different modification to fit your taste. So in case you're not like into that, like it's actually very big practice in at least in like Japanese VR chat communities. Like most of them are actually modifying modifying those avatars to fit their need. Like they may have different cars and like even like different expressions, things like that. It's kind of fun to see. So this is kind of the mall for. It's kind of interesting. They actually do. They actually didn't put this one to. So they got this little stamp card thing. Like you can kind of like get stamped to. Yeah, it's like this where you can kind of see that. So this is kind of mall where you can kind of like and like I say, these words actually you can actually visit after the event is over. It might take, I don't know how long it's gonna take these days, but I would say maybe several weeks. After several weeks, you can actually come back to those non-corporate world, which is this second the corporate wars they are kind of going for good. So I guess that's something to do with the rights and such. But so you can actually visit like some of like the all the like previous Vket worlds. It's actually kind of interesting to visit it. I don't know after. Get all the stamps. Oh yeah, this is a person who did this actual Vket Nyang, which is the cat. Yeah, so this is kind of like more. Let's see. Let's move to next one. And there are people who are actually doing the English broadcast on different words. So that might be another place you can find the all the broadcast. Now the actual broadcasts which are the kind of official broadcasts, they are listed under Vket website, but there are a lot of like people doing their own broadcasts as well, so they can usually find. I do find a lot of them on Twitch for English broadcast, so you might actually find more stuff there than YouTube. Like I think there's like one or two YouTube broadcasts in English for the official one at least, but you find plenty of other people doing doing YouTube as well. So this is kind of like little ghost house, kind of creepy, but it's kind of. So yeah, this is kind of based on these some people kind of go with a theme, and sometimes people just ignore them. So you kind of see the people's different take on those words. So kind of back to the the reason being is you can so the way VRChat works is there is this concept called instance. So there are public instance which basically essentially sort of like area where you can actually have other people join, or you can actually see other people around joining. Now the ones that I'm in called the invite only instance, which basically means that unless I invite someone else, they're not going to show up. So that usually, because I can't control others' behavior on the broadcast, I tend to not use the public instance, because I mean it could be anything ranging from like people being rude, or wearing some inappropriate avatars and such. So I can't really control that. So I try to I limit the others' participation while I'm on broadcast. But yeah, you can kind of control that. If you really want to have someone else there, you can do that. And some people actually do group group broadcasts where you actually have some of their friends join in to go around with them. So that's a kind of difference. So this is actually this area. You can kind of have all those food you can eat. Actually, let me eat some more. It's actually kind of interesting thing. There's something interesting afterward that if you eat a lot. I'll show you. It's possible, yes. Typically, it's not going to be a problem. I mean, the one thing is how often people join, especially later on, people who were wearing some nasty stuff. I don't encounter them so much, but it's a still risk, and sometimes a disruption. So it's not the risk I'm willing to take for most part, but it's not like a lot of people are broadcasting all the time. So especially when you're just visiting, it's kind of hard to have that mindset that people, or expectation that someone's broadcasting. So it's kind of hard to. It's may actually be really disruptive for them as much as it is for me. So that is kind of why I'm not really doing the live broadcast, especially in public. I don't think it's actually too many people do that to begin with. Considering you never know when people are broadcasting. So some people are against it too, when they're being filmed almost in public. So there's that too. So I think I forgot to change the language for this, but you can. So what's interesting about this one is you can actually see how much of things you ate. So you can kind of do that too. So it's kind of interesting feature for this. Yeah. So actually, let me take you to the different variant on this one. Yeah, maybe someday I might do some group ones too. It's actually kind of interesting. I like to kind of try it. The only thing is, the typical time I do these broadcasts not necessarily gonna match up with what people are doing. So it's kind of hard to set one up to begin with. So once again, so you have to actually have to press this one to switch your language. So like this is like similar to the last one, but you can kind of notice like they got different music. So there's some of that feature difference depending on like depending on the level. Some of them are actually kind of similar, but so this world is kind of based on like this like all the chocolate like theme, and it's kind of like themed after like those cake and stuff. Actually, this is probably my like one of the favorite I found this time around. She's kind of cute. It says it's still being worked on, so I kind of want to see how when they finished it. So actually, let me show you how this actually works. So these avatars, so you can actually like many of those avatars actually has this pedestal. It's called. So what it is you can actually basically try it on. So right now I'm actually using this character, so you can try it on. Like the one interesting thing about it is the reason why this is important is, let me change my camera mode here. So okay, now if you see this one, this is my point of view right now. You can kind of see like different feature because a lot of avatars actually this is how I look from outside. So a lot of avatar actually has like different features, so you can actually change like for example you can kind of see this feature. You can turn the change the ears, and it's might be subtle to see. Let me actually get closer. You can see that like this actually that allows you to change the ear. You can remove hat, and there are different things, and these features you just don't see unless you actually try it on. So that is actually kind of like something I really like about like being able to like to experience using this like avatar pedestal. So that this is actually the reason why this is kind of cool. This kind of event is cool is because you can try it on like and see how it's gonna be like. And I think that's particularly why these events are really popular too. So. And it's allowed to you to buy one if you are like if you really like it, you can buy it. So not directly from a VR chat right now, but the it's usually what it does is it's usually takes you to this website called the Boost. Usually, there's a different place you can get those. Like some of them are from a this Vket store as well. There are a couple different places you can get avatars and such. So now the only thing is most of those are transaction done in Japanese yen. So depending on the credit card, well, I think they also take PayPal too. So it may take a little bit of a coordination before you can actually buy one, but usually they're not that hard to do that. So I think I ate a little more this time. Okay, now you can kind of see that. Okay, let's see how well did I do this time. Okay, I did eat a bit. That's 2 days worth of calories. Huh. Okay, let me see how I'm gonna look at. they brought in this mirror. Alright, I guess I'm a little ant here. I don't know what it is. Okay, yeah, let's go to the next one. Which one did I go? Did I actually go most? So, okay, so the next one is one of the quest word, which is, this is one that I want to. So, next one is this is one of the quest compatible words. So they're typically smaller. They're, in this case, it's kind of 1/4 of the size of a other word. So the corporate word tend to be bigger than other non-corporate word. About, like, this time around, this was about, the corporate one was like 700 megabytes, and other depending on the non-corporate ones, they tend to be about 300 to 500 megabytes. And these quest words are 100 megabytes each, mostly, so they're a lot smaller. And actually, restriction how big that those can be in terms of size, the file size is a lot smaller. Like, they're probably a quarter of size. But they still look really good. I think they did a good job on optimizing the word. You can, kind of funny, I'm kind of walking in this, but you can even enjoy the little fishing here too. If you want to, you can kind of fish. Come on, give me some fish. Here you go. Oh, what's? I don't know what this is, but yeah, you can kind of. Okay, looks creepy, but yeah, that's a fish. So, in this world, you can actually see my booth here. Yeah, for some reason I put the little underground smoke vent. You can kind of see I didn't do too much of elaborate things, but you can kind of put up this booth. Yeah. So you can kind of see this actually is the end of the area here. So it's kind of see it's a really tiny compared to PC World, and that's just so it's gonna support a less powerful machine. Essentially, the Quest is essentially the smartphone attached to your head, pretty much. So you can't have the like big file in there, so it's tend to be a lot smaller and more manageable. So yeah, let's see, it's gonna be it, and this is the second quest map, the world. So this is kind of like get your Christmas themed. They tend to be a bit more linear in structure too. But they are still, library. I think they did good job. And this actually used to be the among the other ones, the last one. It used to be the actual PC World, so they actually kind of adapted this one to the Quest World here. So it takes certain expertise to be able to do that. So I think it's nice. I know it's kind of a lot of work to do that, but kind of cool they did it. Yeah, so you can. This is like a DD. It's a relatively small, like I said before. So I guess this is another quest. So this time around, they actually all those quests were the actual adaptation from the previous Vket that was on PC before, so they adapted to quest. Kind of like it's kind of little little bit of like dystopian, I guess. It's kind of cool that they actually can have this kind of different themed world. Kind of like it. We got the little like robot fighting going on there, shooting each other. So essentially each area of these the quest world, essentially they kind of connect with a that like in a portal there, so you can actually on PC ones like it used to be just one big giant one, the kind of twice as big, using the kind of connected with without any connection like that. So that is kind of difference between the way this was adapted from. So just okay, so now I'm kind of heading to that little lobby board on the quest. So this is probably the kind of end area here. Let me just take that. Yep. Probably just gonna use this one as a kind of makeshift, like a little stage area here. So yeah, this is I mean pretty quick, like the show and tell, but the this is a the Vket 2022 Winter. So yeah, I hope you got that some glimpse of what's going on in this world. It's a really interesting event. It's a pretty big event, and I kind of like that to be able to cover all those different creations people do, and it's always fun to see those around. So I'm hoping to continue doing something like this for next week when they're doing. I don't know when they're gonna be doing next. Maybe summer, maybe. But yeah, I also like to cover other events as well. There's some small ones and some big going on still. So I kind of like to do similar activities for other events. Unfortunately, sometimes I know them last minute, so yeah, I may not have enough time. So it's a bummer when that happens, but kind of like to keep doing what I'm doing for these events. So hopefully you had some fun, like looking around, checking this out. Like I say, let's see, 3 more days until this event closes. So if you want to take a look at this, do it while you can. So I'd say that's for the best. So hopefully you can make it. So I mean, it's really nice, when you have a actual VR headset to be able to come to these world, because then you get the full experience. But even if you don't have one, the PC ones, it's usually do the job. It's not as immersive, but you can definitely get some interesting the sight out of it. So I highly recommend it. So, and thank you for coming over, Ri. And I'm pretty sure there are people who are actually watching, maybe not commenting, and thanks for visiting too. So hopefully you enjoyed it. So and I certainly like to I mean continue doing this kind of English broadcast as well, at least one episode per event as well. So I hope you're gonna be checking that out when they come out. So but yeah, so until next time, have a great night, and if you do happen to visit, have fun and enjoy everything. It's really worth it. So let me put it this way. So I hope you're gonna enjoy this, and until then, see you later.